Hey Sainers, welcome to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the Round 4 preview. Thanks to Ticket Blaster again for sponsoring the video. We've also got an Instagram competition at the moment giving away 2 Medallion Club tickets for this Saturday night's game. If you want to win them, go on to Saints TV Pod on Instagram. Ticket Blaster, if you don't know, are a premium reseller of Medallion Club tickets at Marvel Stadium and the MCG. Marvel Stadium, beautiful seating, prime position near all the restaurants on level 2, great wing positions. And then MCG, you can get level 2 in the Shane Warne stand. Amazing seats. Go to www.ticketblaster.com.au. You can get them at a killer price, like $100 for those sort of tickets is unreal. So go on to ticketblaster.com.au and check it out. Okay, so it's round 4. We're 3-0. We're enjoying it. It seems like there's some good news this week. You know, things are just looking good. You've got Mason Wood, who's a chance to play unbelievably on Saturday night. I think he's going to go through a test on Thursday. And then you've got Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira, who signed a 2-year deal. So the vibes are good. 3-0. A couple of good news pieces there from players. And we're facing a Gold Coast Suns team who just have knocked off the reigning premier at Metricon Stadium on the weekend. So they're on a high. They've got some players in form. We'll go through a couple of them shortly. But it's always tricky playing the Gold Coast Suns. You know, you look at some of the recent games we've had against them. Last year we won by 26 points. But before that, they've always been arm wrestles. They have always been within 8 points. I think there was a stretch they went 5 games under a goal in a row or something. It was ridiculous. You can really see them coming into this game and making it an arm wrestle, again, like the previous encounters. So we're going to have to come with our best game. I'm really hoping that Saturday night, the celebration, the emotion, the events, the grind of that late rally, the fast start, doesn't affect us in this game. We've got a full week's recovery. Gold Coast don't, and they've got to travel. So hopefully that plays into our hands and our fitness is just at an all-time high at the moment. At least it looks like that we can continue that red-hot form to go 4-0 before we play Collingwood in Adelaide in a fortnight's time. So the Gold Coast Suns, their threats. Jared Witts, one of the best ruckmen. You know, he'd be top 3 ruckman at the moment in the comp going up against Rowan Marshall. That's going to be massive. Tuke Miller. You know, he was my Brownlow medal fancy, and he started the year very, very well. And then you got players that are finding form. You got Lukosius, who's just kicked 5. Matt Rowell, who's kind of back to his best of a couple of years ago when he first started, when he burst onto the scene. And they got great defenders. You got Sam Collins, Noah Anderson in the midfield, Marbio Chol, and most notably, last time we played them, he wasn't there, and his brother's not going to be out there this time, and that's Ben Bloody King. That is a big headache for our backmen. But again, we've played teams with some pretty decent forward lines, with some big options, and we've handled it. You know, we're number 1 for scores against, I think, at the moment. Our defense is about 5 goals better than the next best. We've only conceded the 167 points this year. Whereas the Gold Coast, you know, they leak goals. They're 15th. Their one win obviously against the Cats was very impressive, but before that they conceded some pretty big scores. But it always comes down to the midfield with our games. You know, you look at Fremantle, their midfield, that was a big threat. We took care of that. Round 2, the Bulldogs, top 2, if not the best midfield in the comp. Some people think we handled that quite well, matched it, got them on the outside, kicked a big score. And then last week, again, Essendon, very, very good midfield. You got Merritt, you got Parrish, you got McGrath, you got these sort of guys in there with a very good ruckman in Sam Draper. Again, for most of the game, we took care of it. So for us on Saturday night, it's the same formula. We've got Witts, good ruckman, and then he's got some good mids under him. So we need to be switched on in the middle, but our midfield form of late has been good. So if we continue that form, you'd be surprised if we weren't in the game or ahead, you know, going into the last quarter. But as we know, in years gone by, Gold Coast always cause us headaches. We need to back up last week's effort. Last week was such a big week, such a big build-up, and we've got a lot of inexperienced players. We don't want, you know, them to come out lethargic and maybe complacent. But you just imagine that Ross all week is just not going to give that sort of vibe, and the rest of the coaches at the footy club are going to make sure the boys are in the best mental and physical preparation they can be to win this game. And so far, they haven't put a foot wrong. So who are we to falter what they're doing and to question what they're doing? They're just doing everything right, our boys. So I'm feeling pretty confident again going to this game. It's weird. Every week so far since round 1, bring it on, I say. It's been a good vibe. Obviously, the injuries are the injuries, and we're going to be missing Jimmy Webster, so we'll quickly go through that. You got Jack Bytel, who could be an in. He had 35 and kicked 2 goals on the weekend. He's looking in very good form, and you'd take him easily in the midfield to assist there. Max Heath kicked 5, but I'd be surprised if he gets included. But if he does, that'd be amazing. That'd stretch their backline even more. Tom Campbell, again, had 37 hitouts and 20 disposals. Jack Paris kicked 3. Jimmy Webster obviously fracturing his cheekbone, so he's out for an extended period. So you'd imagine Ben Patton, who I think was the sub on Saturday night, would just be elevated into the best 22, and he would start in the back pocket. And then you got Mason Wood, who hurt his shoulder. But if he gets through a test tomorrow, it's likely he'll play. You'd imagine the only major change is Jimmy Webster out and maybe a Bytel in, elevate Patton. Maybe Bytel becomes the sub. The boys are doing everything right. And, if you look at some of these stats from the club, we're ranked number 1 for kicks. We're ranked 3 for handballs. That says that we are, we get a lot of the ball, which is evident. We're ranked number 1 for disposals, number 3 for marks. We are ranked number 4 for clangers, but our clangers aren't hurting us as much this year, and I think it's because we go down the boundary more than any other team. We're discussing it on Fox Footy the other day that they haven't seen a team go around the boundary as aggressively as us since probably Collingwood in 2010 when they took the league by storm doing that, and they were very hard to break down because of that. Because when they turned the ball over, it was just on the wing. It was near a boundary. You kill the ball, you reset. It didn't hurt because you didn't turn it over in the middle of the ground. It makes the game look slow, but we're just continually doing it very quickly until there's a clear overlap, and that's when we go and we give it to, Mason Wood, the Ronnie Burns, Brad Hill, Naz, Sinks, the guys with pace that can kick and they have good endurance and run all day. Those are the ones that break the game open for us. So they're going to be very, very important again for us. If we can get the ball into their hands more times than not, I back that we're going to have a good day at the office. And if the crowd can turn up, if Saners can get out and we can get 25, 30K against the Suns, which I think we deserve with the form that we're in, make the most of it, get to the game, that's going to help the boys even more. Because I think, again, the crowd is a big factor. If we can continually bring that energy like we have for 3 games already, there's no reason why we can't lift the boys again to a 4th straight win. And then, go into that Collingwood game undefeated. That's a free hit in my eyes, Go into that. We will be a big threat in that game because we've got nothing to lose. This week, the Suns, it's a big one. I'm feeling confident. They're going to be a threat. They always are. We've got to make sure that Ben King is quiet. I think we stop him and we break even in the middle. I think that really is the game. I tip us probably by about 25 points. I think we're probably a goal or 2 better per quarter in my eyes at the moment. So if we can keep that standard up, I think it'll be a good one. So I'll leave it there, saying as a bit of a quick preview. The teams will be out tomorrow at, I think, 6:20. I'm pretty confident we're just going to see the one change, and that's going to be Webster out, Patton elevated in, Bytel comes in as the sub, and Mason Wood remains in the squad. I'm feeling good about this one. Hope you guys are too. Please comment your thoughts. Let me know how you're feeling. How has the week been? How is it like feeling, as a 3-0 Saner at the moment? For me, it's been amazing. It's making the content pretty easy, to be honest, chatting about wins all the time and all the good players. But yeah, we don't want to get complacent. We don't want to take this one for granted. And you feel like if you lose this week, last week's effort kind of goes undone. So we really need to come out and, again, make a statement. Everyone in the AFL world is waiting for the old Saints to come back, the typical Saints to come back and lose and play shit. If we come out in this game and get the job done comfortably, again, it's another statement, another step forward, and we move on to Collingwood. So I'll leave it there, Sainers. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you after the game on Saturday night for hopefully another win. Till then, take care, and as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.